Tonight's show, we're talking about fate or free will. And I'm answering all your questions with live readings coming up right now.
Does it look like a Devin or David?
David is his name. It's been so spot on.
And I don't know if you put it in the side of your end table or not. You still like to summon your end table that you live too.
My God, we're crazy.
Yeah.
You might be hard on your right knee when you're running. Make sure you're not too hard on the right knee.
100%.
Okay.
Honey, I'm a runway walker. Okay.
You think to work with some sort of like vibrational machine, somehow a way to work with like machinery and vibration.
I work with horses, and there's actually some magnawave therapy that's vibrational.
Tell me something that he told you that came true.
Everything he's predicted has come true.
I just don't see it.
He doesn't have cancer?
It's very possible.
Allow yourself to hear yourself. Allow yourself to feel yourself. Allow yourself to talk to yourself. Allow yourself to respond to yourself. That's looking within.
You might encounter negative aspects of self, but that's a freeing experience.
Because then they start realizing that they can't think outside the box. And it's if you can't think outside the box, then who's the stupid one here? The ascension is not just planet Earth, it's actually galactic. It's all interdimensional. And I think that, again, we have to understand our participation in that process. So I don't just come on here and talk bullshit and repeat. I'm living this stuff.
In harmony with nature, in a mystical adventure, we're building on the culture.
Happy Thursday Night Live, everyone. Welcome to the Cruisyverse. How has your week been since last Thursday? We have Mars is direct and Venus is in retrograde. What do you know? All these retrogrades, huh? Surprise, surprise. It's kind of like at first when March hit, and I'm like, oh, there's a burst of energy. Now I'm still feeling like this little kind of like swampy energy again. So we'll get into that. We'll see what the collective read has to say about it all. And hopefully you guys checked out this morning's Leading Out Loud. It was about resurrecting, or I don't remember the title. Something about divine feminine stuff. I don't know. Check it out. I actually did a show too here, my own show about divine feminine. So, and just predicting how there's going to be a resurrection of such this year primarily too. And just kind of bringing more of that divine feminine energy, which many people, they misconstrue what divine feminine is. And they think feminine means women or female. But divine feminine is a nurturing energy. It's an inspired energy. It's a psychic energy. It's a creative energy. It's also what we consider to be right-brained. So, we both have both polarities of both divine feminine, divine masculine. It's time to bring the nurturing aspect out. It's time to be more intuitive now than we used to be with our toxic masculinity crap that we keep saying, but it's more about out of balance and out of order. So welcome aboard. Let's see who's chatty Cathy in the room, shall we? I've been a little sluggish too. This past few, I don't know if that's the right banner, but I guess I'll deal with the banner. Let's see who's chatty Cathy in the room today. We got Blondie7, good to see you. David Cruz and Jennifer Cruz back to back. We got mother and father back to back. Kate, yo, good to see you. Gemini Girl, Kate, hello. Rashida Rostanovic, good to see you. All good in the Cruisyverse. Gotta eat, get some sleep, enjoy the live. Well, Rashida, you're gonna miss. I'm gonna run your commercial later, so we're gonna boost up your products. So hopefully you'll stick around a little bit so you can adjust. But we're gonna run your ads today. So, Ali Teller, good to see you. Kristen Villareau. Chris says, hi there, much seen of some Scott tonight. After this week, I'm pretty sure my spirit guides drink heavily. Oh, man. Aren't they drunk? Drunk love, right? Drunken love, I guess we can call it. I hear you. I agree. We're going to try to get some resolve, some good vibes tonight. Nothing too heavy, right? Some motivation we need. Lisa Cruz, my sister from the same Mista. Good to see you, my love. And wonderful mod Nina is in the room. If you guys want to get a question in tonight, it's $15 for a card pull, $20 for one question, $30 for two questions, and $40 for a live video with moi. The PayPal and Venmo links are in the description. And sorry, only the live videos can be actually through Venmo because that's the only way I can correspond with you back and send you a link to call in. So, and wonderful Mom Nina will sit there and she'll guide you and direct. Well, she won't just be sitting there, of course, but she'll help to guide you if you have any questions on getting those questions in. Darby Mabry, good to see you. Iggy, can't you see? Come alive, resurrecting back to physical reality to experience penises, because no penises in heaven. So stop resisting it, ladies, and come alive. Oh, so that's part lyrics of my song, part of what we talked about this morning. And Christopher had a very interesting viewpoint saying, sorry, ladies, there's no penises in heaven. So that was a quote from this morning's LOL, blend in with lyrics to my song. So Iggy, thank you for that. And it's true, there are no penises in heaven, damn it. Tommy Garassi, good to see you. Hey, it's been some time. Missed being here for the last few weeks. Good to see you. And so, yeah, so hopefully we'll deliver tonight. Make it worthwhile. Daryl Blakesfield, good to see you. Yes, the Cruise Clan is here. It's but CRUZ. That's not a cruise ship. And Sister actually is in the rooms. Yeah, that's too. Noelle Way, gorgeous sister from another mister. Good to see you. Linda Jane, good evening. Brenna Zweck. Who also chatted? Gregory Gomez, good to see you. Colette Love, hello. Sophie, hi. Angie Russell, Edward Kenneth, greetings to you. Ron G, hey, what's going on, brother? Horses Trigger Hope, good to see you too. Kate, what's going on? And then Ashley McCammon, I think I said it correctly, and Abby Coe, and those who are watching, welcome aboard. I can't see who's watching, I can only see who's chatting. So those who are watching, I would say, you got privacy. Aren't you glad I can't see you? So those who are new, I will start with the collective read, and I utilize tarot and my oracle cards, although I don't need them because I'm a psychic medium. But in situations like this, it's just an easier guide for collective purposes. And then I'll get into the topic, which the topic tonight is fate or free will. Are you being psychic or are you creating it? Which one is it? And so we'll get into the parameters of what that really means, how to adjust, how to recognize such, and maybe find ways to understand what your destiny and purpose really is and how to create it. We'll get into that. And then we'll get into live readings. So get your questions in now. Those who haven't got a question in, they have jump-started the questions tonight. So they started about an hour ago getting their questions in. So if you want to get them in soon, because I'll be shutting them down. It's first come, first serve. And let's shuffle these cards. We're shuffling. I figured, I was wearing hats because, my head was shaved, and I wear hats because of just change. And now I'm just wearing hats because I have bad hair day. So now I realize that, hey, I got a bad hair day, got to put a hat on. So I'm wearing my hats again. People have been saying, where are your hats? I miss your hats. So there you go. And do you consider my new hair to be a hat? I do. Aquilapan, good to see you. Right, Kate? I was thinking the same thing. No penises in heaven. What does that even mean? I thought life was just a big penis, right? No, of course not. Sherry, good to see you from Seattle. I appreciate you. Thank you. That's very sweet of you, Sherry. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. How is the weather in Seattle? We're getting some rain here in Palm Springs. It's cold and rainy here in Palm Springs. All right, let's pull these cards and see what the message is tonight. Okay. All right. Interesting. Pull some oracles. I said I wasn't motivating tonight, and we're going to get motivating. I don't think it's going to be overly philosophical, like I usually get very philosophical. I think we're going to get motivating, can kind of get in a mode of tackling 2025. And of course, a lot of these messages, spiritual messages, could be repetitive and redundant, but we always got to find a different angle on it, too. So... Okay, so the Moon card, High Priestess card, Justice card, I'm going to kind of summarize too. The Moon card to me it's very much about secrets. It's like a secret, a hidden card, right? Things that are unbeknownst to you. But to me, what this really, the Moon card is reflecting in the collective read is really understanding, getting to know the depths of you that you have not yet understood yet, or you have not uncovered yet about yourself. And you can say to yourself, what does that mean? It's like, I know what I like in life. It's like, but do you know where you've come from? People are like, what do you mean, where have I come from? Where have you come from? Do you think this is your only incarnation? Well, I don't know. Never thought about that. Let's start thinking about this, because we want to really understand parts of the things of ourselves that are not illuminated right now to give more insight of where we're going in the future. That's the only way you know where you're going, is where you know where you came from and the reason where you're actually on this pattern in this path today and the now in the present day. gives more meaning and more purpose to such. And with the High Priestess card coming next to that, that's very much the significance of we do have that ability to tap within to our mystical abilities. We do have the ability to tap into our psychic awareness. We do have the abilities to understand the depths or tap into the depths of the Akashic records that we call that, but also understanding what's our records. Where have I been? What did I go through before? What was my karma from my previous incarnation that created this character that I have today? Why do these certain things make me tick? See, understanding those hidden truths, I don't know why the music started playing there, uncovering those hidden truths about yourself is where you will find more of your intuition, more of your psychic awareness, more of your mystical abilities, right? You will understand the ability you have to manifest, or when it's time that you should not be manifesting or cannot manifesting. You'll understand the layers and the structure of why things are occurring in your life the way they need to occur, and you'll start seeking more wisdom. See, we think that we're here to be in joy and to find things that we want to manifest in life, and that's not true. We're here to actually gain more wisdom, more insight. The more we broaden our perspective, the more like the God energy we become, because we can see it all. We see things from every point of view and every perspective. We're objective and unaffected, right? Excuse me. That is the goal. That's why we're here. And we do gain a lot of that knowledge through whatever theme that we have in this incarnation. Some of you guys have a theme about you're trying to find a relationship, but your theme is like understanding self-love so you can actually manifest love in a companionship fashion or expression. So therefore, you have to understand what it's like to love yourself, what it really means to be in a true essence of love. That's your theme. But you're exploring that through relationships, right? You're exploring that through different dynamics. And so if you're constantly being cheated on, then of course you're cheating yourself out of life because you're not allowing yourself to grab onto the value of your own personalized expression that then attracts other people with their own personalized and vibrant perspectives and expressions too. So we have to first understand our theme. Where are we coming from? Where are we coming from, and where are we going? What's the whole purpose of being here now? That's the truths that we want to uncover about the self on the soul level. When I say soul level, that's an intuitive space that we can all tap into if we allow ourselves to just ask those questions. A little bit of curiosity goes a long way when you're curious to understand. Curious, not necessarily like I have an accent. I'm curious. When you're curious about diving deep into learning more about yourself, you'll realize you'll start resurrecting a lot of information from your past incarnations, from more of your soul expression in this incarnation. Just being curious and asking those questions, they'll start coming up. Whether it comes up through a meditation that you do, or whether it comes up, randomly, or it just takes some time and it just evolves in time whenever you're ready for it, because sometimes people are afraid of that energy of knowing such. But just having a little bit of curiosity to dive deeper is where you'll start finding more of that information about yourself, and it'll make sense of why things don't happen in this incarnation, and why things are happening in this incarnation. And whether you try to manifest or not, you're like, I've been doing these processes of manifestation, but these things still keep happening to me, even though it's contrary to what I'm focusing on. Well, there's a lesson there that you've missed from a previous incarnation or in this incarnation that needs to be resolved. Those secrets, the secret information needs to be expressed and exposed so we can understand how to maneuver and, I would say, destroy those quote unquote obstacles that we have in our life, which is really just an unresolved. So when I've realized that it's really just about the unresolved and resolving the unresolved, nothing's an obstacle for me. Everything's like, to me, when something is a pause, it's like a knock on my door saying, excuse me, do you want this wisdom? I'm like, sure, I'll take that wisdom. And then I take that wisdom, I expand, I learn, I grow, and I go on my life in a more equipped fashion to have more of experience of what I'm intending to experience to really truly express myself. The right way, the true way, which renders experiences that truly represent my soul. The right relationships, the right house, the right location, the right expression of creativity, right? That's diving deep within. That's wanting to know more about the uncovered truths of yourself. And that also means, any type of soul contracts that you might have created or might have, because many people are not aware that they have soul contracts of, relationships that are in, or certain the griefs that they've experienced in their life of loss of loved ones. Those are soul contracts. Do you have one? Do you have a soul contract? Is there a child that has gone astray and you felt the contempt and guilt over one of your children or family members, and, you wonder why that's still a burden on yourself, and you ask yourself if there's a soul contract there and why. See, these things can bring a lot more information so we're not in contempt to these physical circumstances that prevents us from growing. Because at the end of the day, we're seeking wisdom for what purpose? The only one purpose is for our soul to grow, is our soul to expand. When our soul expands, it becomes more infinite. It becomes more all-knowing, like the God energy. Then we can create worlds and create more in when it comes to, existence in general, so to speak. Right? So, and the Justice card is like really about balance. So, when I want to kind of, it's funny I say that, and here's the Two of Pentacles balance card, right? So, when we say balance, and we hear this all the time about balance in the spiritual communities, just like we've got to find balance. And does anyone know what the hell that means? Anybody? Anybody know what that means? True balance, right? Because we hear all these cliche things and no one really understands what that means. See, bringing things in balance, it's what creates a fair expression in your life. That creates justice in your life. Everything's fair and working as it should be. But the balance means you understand the yin to your yang. And just like we talked about this morning, you understand your divine masculine aspects and whether or not your divine masculine is in a powered or disempowered state, or then you also understand your divine feminine aspects, whether or not your divine feminine is a disempowered or empowered state. And you understand how to bring both aspects, the duality of self, into complete balance so you have a full experience. Not a partial experience, but a full experience. And so when we understand how to really bring that in balance, that means that we're not just living in, we're not letting the ego run the show, because I'm always very repetitive about the ego running the show. The ego is a mechanism that is within us that keeps us to survive in physical 3D. In order for me to be online or to do videos online or to go, lecture somewhere, I have to have an ego that says, I can do that. Yeah, whoa, the ego can help to fuel us to do any type of physical task that can express the soul. So we don't want to kill the ego. We want to nurture the ego and then focus on our divine feminine, divine masculine counterparts within ourselves. So then we can bring that in complete balance and have a true perspective, which means that we're brazen, we're protective, we're supportive, we're warriors, but we're also nurturers, we're also insightful, we're creators, we're inventors, and we're intuitive. Bring all those traits together into one unified balance approach or perspective is actually brings the complete fullness and wholeness of self. Because the soul isn't fragmented. We're playing this fragmented game here in physical reality because it's density. So we can look at things because it's separated and everything's fragmented. So we can observe things a lot closer and a lot deeper. But the soul itself is not fragmented. It's whole. Right. And so I love that the assessing card with the self-reflection oracle cards came above that, because it really is all about assessing, diving deep for that information, self-reflection. I love the resilience card is you're resilient. You definitely want to be focusing on this journey ahead and understand that the theme of this journey, not so much just being privy to whatever physical conditions happen in your life. Just I'm a slave to reality. I'm a victim to reality. No, I'm resilient. I need to understand why I'm experiencing these things and what I need to do to empower through it and to rise above from that. And look at the strength card just sitting there looking at me on that. All right. So knowing more of the self. Now, I like how the collective read is really kind of getting into the topic, because fate or free will. See, when you dive deep into knowing more about yourself, you first understand what your destiny is, your destined path is, your divine purpose. Okay? Now, if you want to ask the question, is it fate or is it free will? I'm going to say it's always both. First of all, fate is a divine purpose that you've selected prior to incarnating. Based on your previous evolution, your previous incarnations, you determined, well, I need to now adapt this perspective and grow in this fashion. So I'm going to incarnate with these certain amount of lessons. So first of all, it's your free will to create the fate to begin with before incarnating. But once you've selected the fate or the destiny or divine purpose, as you call that when you incarnate, that's locked in until you complete that journey, that quest. Now, I like to say your fate or divine purpose that you've created prior to incarnating is kind of the rules of the game board. It's like a game of chess. You play a game of chess, the rules of the game of chess, you're on the game board, but you can make any move that you want to make with any piece, but you have to stay in the parameters of the game. This is what your divine purpose is. It's the parameters of the game, and physical reality is the chessboard. Okay? So when we understand the parameters, the theme, our divine purpose, and what we're here, that we're supposed to learn, we're supposed to evolve from and into, then we have more direction of what we need to experience in this lifetime. And then we have our free will, which then dictates how we wish to express that, how we wish to learn those lessons. So if the karmic purpose or divine purpose that you've chosen prior to incarnating in the parameters of your physical life is to learn about true love, receiving love, well, then you might go through some karmic contracts where you're going to have to be maybe a victim to something where you're deprived of love and stripped of love. So you now have to start seeking love and start seeing through other people and allow yourself to fully embrace loving the self. And when you fully embrace the love the self, you understand the love comes within, then you start allowing yourself to attract that through other people, other circumstances, other relationships, allowing others to help you. That's your parameters of the theme that you've chosen to explore. And when you understand this, you'll pick the right circumstances in life. When you pick the right circumstances in life, life flows. Life will flow. And you'll get what you want, because what you want is always in alignment to your divine purpose or your karmic lessons or karmic unresolved that you've chosen. And so there are certain things we do set up prior to incarnating. Sometimes we'll say, well, I will choose this lover at this part of my life, or I will choose this career occupation, or I will choose these certain parameters. Sometimes we will rearrange certain things in our trajectory prior to incarnating. And a lot of times we don't lay everything out. Not every step we take is written in the stars, so to speak. So that's why it's really good to, when we go to see a reader, like for when I'm predicting the future, so to speak, there's certain things I can predict and say, this is a karmic path, this is a divine purpose, and this is what's rendering based on the choices that you've made up to this point that's rendering this outcome. These parameters that you've actually rendered from your free will choices can be altered and changed. You could start going on this path and learn through this, experience, or learn through that experience. You don't have to stay stuck in this experience. So I will help guide my clients into understanding that whatever is predicting and rendering for your future is based off your current incarnational free will choices that could be altered and changed. Not locked in stone. But the one thing that is locked in stone is what you're here to learn, what you're here to grow on. So there's a big difference on that. So we do have the free will of how we wish to navigate. And we also have a free will to choose not to learn the lesson too and not to grow on it. We have that free will to do that too, and completely waste a life and have to repeat the karma in another incarnation. So your divine purpose is what you've chosen to explore. It's also kind of embedded in your soul based on your previous evolution and your previous growth and where you're wishing to go to. We incarnate here because we do want to go somewhere. We've incarnated into physical reality because we do want to evolve to a next level of being, of existence, of perspective. So we're not here just to sit back and be in joy. We're not here to be in joy. We're not here to find happiness. Happiness and joy is a result of you being self-centered and complete. It's a result. Those results are not goals, though. Okay, and so many people have karmic lives and divine purpose where they need to be miserable. They have to go through a lot of grief in their incarnation to either pay back certain karmic debts that they have unpaid, and unresolved, or because they inflicted a lot of grief upon other people that they have to experience what it's like to go through tremendous amount of grief in this incarnation. That's a divine purpose, and that's what fate is. That would be their fate. Okay, and so we also, with our free will, can create a different fate depending on which we wish to evolve from it or not. And so once we resolve our karmic path or divine purpose in this, incarnation, we get then free to manifest what we please. When we resolve any type of karma that's unresolved, or we've learned the lesson of what the theme was, then we have a free experience of, I get to kind of create and manifest whatever I want now because I've checked that box. I graduated from my karma, or I've resolved and completed my divine purpose, or I'm in my divine purpose. That's when it's all 100% free will in real time, baby. It's always all free will. But what we've chosen prior to incarnating, remember, is what fate is, what fate becomes, the divine purpose, the destiny, so to speak. We predetermined it. So use your free will to dictate how you're going to explore the theme. And like I said in the very beginning, is like uncover those hidden truths of the self, the truth self. And understand what the true purpose is in this incarnation. And you'll know what the purpose is and the theme is based on the consistent challenges that you are facing in your life. And look beyond and behind what the experiences are telling you. Not the fact of, I just keep, dating cheating men. No. What is the theme behind that? If you stood firm in your worth and your value, you would not even entertain a cheating energy at all, or more or less be attracted to it. So it even goes a lot deeper because the cheating men represents that you're cheating yourself out of life. So you're not creating value or allowing yourself to experience any sort of value in your life. You're relying upon conditional, responses, so forth, to fulfill that within you. So your fate will be you continue to experience the same type of energy until it's resolved. Until you use your free will to resolve that, then you will change your fate and you create a completely different path, which is more in alignment to your overall soul purpose and destination. But you'll always feel inflow. See, that's the whole point of physical reality here. And so that's why when a lot of my clients come to me, and we have to be very clear about the parameters of prediction, I say, not every step we take is written in the stars. That's what free will is. But we also predetermined a lot before incarnating too. We understand we had a mission and purpose to incarnate into this physical 3D world and this body that we're in, this physical life that we're in. We had a purpose for that. So understanding what that purpose is will let you utilize your free will to navigate the parameters of this mission, of this game board, and the way that's going to be beneficial to you. And that's when life will be joyful. That's when life would be exciting. That's when life feels like it's in flow. Because it is. You're not resisting the purpose. You're not resisting the true nature of what the soul truly desires. Not the physical persona or the physical desires, what the physical person's desiring, because a lot of physical desires are based off on, spiteful energies from past trauma or just trying to pacify past traumas. We're talking about what the soul truly wants. And like I've said before in the past few weeks, what the soul truly wants is what is basically the feeling sensations of the things you think you want conditionally. Start feeling first, conditional second. And you might recognize, I actually don't even want those conditions. I actually don't want the relationship right now. I actually, don't want to be working at this job any longer. I actually don't want to work in corporate America anymore. I actually don't want to be focusing on these sorts of things anymore. You'll start making the real decisions and recognize that you've been making decisions from the ego that's been driving the show, because the ego is just trying to survive versus from the soul that's trying to thrive. There's a big difference. Ego's trying to survive. The soul only thrives. So you have to ask yourself, in which mode are you in? If you're surviving only, you're only in ego. You're not living from the soul. If you're thriving, you're coming from the soul. And once we understand that premise, we can always ask ourselves this. I'm trying to survive. I'm coming from ego. I'm not coming from heart. I'm not coming from the heart. I'm not coming from the soul. So your fate will still be stuck in the parameters of your unresolved karma. So no matter what you do, you won't get outside of those parameters of those walls of that karma or that unresolved theme that you're trying to explore. You won't get out of it. No matter how much you try to manifest, whatever you're trying to manifest. I just want the house. I'm trying to get the house. I just want someone to love me. I just want a relationship. I just want a boyfriend. I just want a house. I just want some money. I just want some wealth, and I just can't get it. You won't be saying those things. You understand? You're not resolving anything. You're not growing from anything. You're just looking to be fed. You're looking to consume. How many guys are actually expressing versus consuming? Too many people are focusing on consuming and consumption. How much can they get? When are they getting what they want to get? I blame, society for this, because raising children that, you're good, you get presents. You're bad, you get coal, right? This whole really bad reward system that we had in our society growing up, and religion. You're good, you go to heaven. You're bad, you go to hell. It's all this conditional shit, in order to teach morale, which has been very hurtful to our human consciousness. Because all it does is focus on, I'm going to do something for consumption. So I'm basically working for consumption, is what it teaches people. And that's why we have a society fixated on consumption and consuming things and getting things now, and finger fucking the screen and getting all the things accessible now, and missing out on experience or even expression. You see people who are bundled up in jogging pants on their couch, on their phone, wondering, why am I alone? Why am I single? You didn't bathe today. You have a box of unfinished pizza on the fucking coffee table. You've been on the couch for a weekend, and you're wondering why you're single and alone? What are you expressing? You're not expressing shit. You're just consuming and expecting more to consume you. Or to consume more. How's anyone going to want that? You ain't expressing anything, but some people, everybody's going to show up and express to you like a minute man, like a dollar man, and just shows up at your door. And thank God for AI, because, people could just tap into an AI boyfriend. They don't have to do anything. Just consume. Why am I fat? Right? Well, you only can focus on consuming food. How about like maybe purging some food? Maybe we have to inhale and exhale. Stop inhaling all the time. Right? And so that's what balance is too. There's an ebb and a flow. There's an in and an out. There's an inward, outward, inward, outward. I mean, sex expresses that, for God's sake. In and out, in and out. And look how good it feels to go in and out, right? Let's get crass for a moment. Even breath, in, out, in, out. That's the flow that we're supposed to be expressing right now. But so many people are all in. I need more in, but I'm not getting enough in. Not getting enough in. Or a lot of you guys are all outbox. Out, 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 out. You are using your free will to dilute yourself from experience because of physical brainwashing parameters of consumption. And so you got to ask yourself, am I consuming or expressing? Am I surviving or am I thriving? Because surviving is coming from the ego again, which needs to consume in order to keep itself fixated. I need more to stay alive. So you're just feeding the ego by this consumption energy. But when you're thriving, you don't need anything. You're just going, well, you're just expressive, you're vibrant. That's a choice. But your fate and the divine purpose that you created prior to incarnating is where your thriving is. And the evolution is also where you thrive. Because when we learn something, we feel good about ourselves. We feel empowered. Like, wow, I learned something new. I gained new insight, new wisdom. So I feel good about myself. You start seeking more of that wisdom. And so this is the balance. But understand, fate, you've already selected that prior to incarnating. We don't just blindly just hop in a body and go, poof, I'm here. Now what? That's if you're like a lower level spirit that doesn't have enough conscious awareness to select a life. But most people in this room who are listening to this type of information or finding this information have gone through enough incarnations to be self-aware on the soul level, to make decisions and to be abstract about the experiences that you're experiencing in each incarnation, to want to grow and to gain more insight and power on. So we're at that stage. So we can't play stupid like I just don't know. Well, it's all encoded in your physical reality. So, like I said in the collective read, you want to find deep, go deeper now within the self. Say, what is my divine purpose? What is my theme here? And you're here to express and not consume. The physical body, the physical persona needs consumption. The soul needs expression. Remember this. The physical body, the physical persona needs consumption. That's how it stays alive. It's physical, it's dense. The soul needs to express. And the soul the soul cannot express itself. It will let all the physical parameters go to shit. And if your physical parameters have gone to shit, that means that you've been limiting and suppressing your soul expression. Your soul is being suffocated. If you have anxiety, you're sick, you're ill, your finances are bad relationships, you're living in a state of consumption only that you're not allowing to express. So therefore, your life is crumbling minute to minute, experience by experience, year to year, whatever, decade by decade. And the more it occurs, the more you're not even recognizing what your fate is and how to resolve and to pacify the fate. So therefore, that will keep experiencing, that will keep evolving and keep, I would say, repeating is a better word, in those parameters, in those very restrictive parameters. Because we don't want to miss the point. We don't want to forget the point, which is why we set those parameters up to begin with, which is why we create that fate for ourselves to say, I'm only going to explore within these parameters here because I need to learn this lesson. Boom, bingo, done deal. And then you understand, okay, I got a clear view of what my perspective and mission is. Now let's make the choices in that nature, in that essence. Watch how your life changes. Watch how your life becomes in flow. Watch how you don't give a damn about somebody else's perspective or give a damn what somebody else has or doesn't have. And watch how you'll stop being so focused on what you're getting in life and more so about how you're becoming and what you're being and what you're doing and how you're feeling. That's when you're on the right track. And that's when you open up your parameters and you start feeling like life is more about your free will, less about fate or destiny parameters. So, and that's also how you bring in the balance. So, in conclusion, we really want to have that desire and hunger to learn more about ourselves on the core, and open up the curiosities of maybe things you don't know about when it comes to the mystical parameters, or, you know, the past trajectories that you've experienced. Maybe you don't know anything much about that, but the hunger to want to know about it because you've been there, you'll remind yourself. All our past experiences, talents, skill sets, perspectives, you know, fears, they're all embedded in our DNA. Our DNA holds memory from our past incarnations and intellect and things we've already accomplished. You ever wonder why certain people have such irrational fears in this incarnation, and they had no previous experiences of those fears in this incarnation? They have unresolved that's carried on in this lifetime. And so we want to learn more and try to be curious to understand, where's this stemming from? You'll be able to resolve a lot of that unresolved information and data that's embedded in your DNA, and reprogram that data in your DNA and turn it to more of an empowered strength versus a limitation. I almost kind of see it like a video game, like you're upgrading your own avatar. That's how I like to see it. The Scott Cruz parameter is just an avatar. You know, so that's how we understand the parameters, and that's how we'll be able to see this is fate and this is my free will. It's all actually synonymous, actually, because it is my free will to choose my fate, but I need to be in tune with the self to understand what the faith is, and use my free will to understand how to navigate through the parameters I've set for myself to evolve from it, to conquer it. Period. Done deal. End of the story. You're not here to manifest a car. You're not here to manifest a home. You're not here to find a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You're not here to get that corporate job. It's what you're expressing through those conditions is why you're here. And I want you guys to have the hunger to want to figure out what that is. And that's why I help people in my sessions to make those, to identify those things, to make those connections. So it makes sense. And because when it makes sense, then we feel free and clear, and our intuition broadens, and we get the message from soul. And then we have to start living like life has a purpose. I don't want to leave here. My life is fulfilling. You don't feel like these quacks either, where it's like, I'm so happy, joy. Oh my God, joy. That's out of balance. That is chaotic energy. Peace is a very settled energy. It's not like, oh my God, I'm so loving light. And also, you know, peace isn't like, oh God, you know, it's not all that. Peace is just a power that's a very subtle, calm, content. Remember that. So next time you see these spiritual quacks, like, oh, love and light, all that stuff, there's something going massively wrong there. Oh my God, I believe in you so much. All that stuff, it's just something wrong there. Because that is not balance. That is not peace. That's like overcompensation, right? Massive deprivation. Oh my God. Overcompensation. Oh yeah, oh my God, you keep doing, you're so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's out of balance, out of whack. All because something sounds good doesn't make it so. And I always say over and over again, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And we see a lot of that in our modern day spiritual communities. Shitloads of it. So off balance, so out of whack, so out of touch. And I find most people utilize spirituality now because they're so sensitive. They can't deal with anything else. Like they bury themselves into spirituality because they don't want to confront their karmic purpose and their fate and use your free will to explore. They just got to bury themselves in this phony, faux spiritual love and light bullshit, so they don't have to tolerate anything else. And they can use the excuse that it's low vibe of that's why they want to experience it. Don't fall into those traps. Don't fall into that deprivation of not wanting to evolve. Don't fall into that. Hit it head on. Understand, we are not here to judge any experience here or any expression here. Every expression that exists on this planet Earth is intended to bring evolution. And whether you or not you understand why the evil occurs or not is more for you to learn, to grow about, and to become more objective to understand. And in time you will. And you will. But it starts from wanting to uncover the hidden truths of self. All right, so that's the collective and the topic. And let's get into these reads. First, we have a wonderful card pull and message from Nina. So let's get her in real quick.
So I found the perfect spot for a channel message. I'm like, the sun is shining, the vibes are going, and every time I went to go open my mouth, this guy with a blow leaf thingy is blowing leaves. Like the second I went, it was like, man, I don't know if you can hear it now. But I think that may be part of the channel message. Like, the channel message around this is like, you are moving stuff around. Like, the same way that the leaves are moving around and things are getting adjusted. It feels like the rest of January, if you're tuning into this, for you may feel like rearranging things, like blowing things over here, blowing things over there, and kind of like figuring out where is it comfortable to land for you. What kind of foundation are you feeling ready to like step into almost? Because it just feels like things are just moving around while you figure out where you want to adjust.
I love that, because thank you, Nina, for that. Always have to thank my Nina for that. It's true. Your foundation, that's step 0, right? Setting foundation, setting the boundaries and protection of the core of you, step 0. And so when we apply this, we then can actually dive deep to learn more about ourselves. So thank you, Nina, for that addition of setting the foundation. Very in alignment to today's collective read and message, which you didn't know if that was going to be, so that worked out well. Good selection of message. And before we move on, too, Rashida has products that she's selling. She got some great journals that she's created for the Zodiac and Zodiac mugs. So here's a little commercial showing what Rashida's has to offer. That's right, guys. So you can purchase it there. Let me get the extra QR code here for you guys to scan. Where is it? Here it is right here. Whoa, it came from the top of the sky. It fell from the heavens, and here it is. So scan that barcode there so you can get some of her merch. Again, check out her Zodiac journals that she's created, and also some mugs. I think she has some mugs for every Zodiac too. So support a creative artist. She's a wonderful watcher, follower here that's been following us for a while, part of the Cruisyverse family. So support her. Scan that code there to bring it to her online shop. All right, and I'm gonna see who has been referred from me to her. All right. So that's great. All right, let's get into these live readings, shall we, without further ado. All right. My package has been delivered. That's what actually was that all that noise and commotion outside with the doggies. All right, let's get my Venmo up. I know you guys were chiming in. And Allie, I haven't forgot yours either, so we'll get to you in a moment. Let me just kind of get things started here. You have to wear real gold, or does that the way? Okay, so first is Stephanie Panahar. She says, nails. Oh, no, that's not. Sorry, that was not what Stephanie said. That was her transaction, last transaction. It was for nails. Sorry. Okay. Stephanie says, so I have to get my auto loan to purchase my truck this month. Do you see that going smooth? Or is Land Rover going to get me another new car and return this one? I love my Velar. I don't owe much for lease buying, so buying it would be great. They would love for you to buy it. I mean, so I think that you have both options. You know, I think that you have options to purchase the car you have now from the lease, so that would go well too, and to buy something new. You better do it now, because the car market is going to go cray in a minute. You know, price is going to go up. You know, so do it now or forever hold your peace, right? But no, I feel both options are available to you, whether or not you want to purchase a new truck, or if you actually just go ahead and just buy out the one you've been leasing. I feel like you're going to have success with both. You know, so especially on that lease, I mean, they love that, because you basically paid for, you know, the degrading value on it, you know, the degradation of the vehicle. So they love you to buy it. So yeah, you feel like you could go either way. So, yeah, do it next week, Friday. Good. Get on it. Because I think now's the time. They're going to want to get you into something like now, so do it. Go do that. But it's your choice or selection on the way you wish to do it. Okay. Let me pull my PayPal too, because I have to see who's come first and who's come, second. I'm doing it in order, of course. And those who I'm doing right, and Ali, I said I do you, but I'm doing the ones who actually put theirs in first before you sent me the message. So, okay, Holly Brown. Click on it. Sorry, the internet. I have fast internet, but the servers and everything's freaking slow for some reason. I don't know why. Question 1: would I be successful getting a large investment paid back by hiring an attorney, or will he be paying my dividends again? Question 2: will my new puppy Boo Boo I am picking up this Saturday going to be a good fit for me? Will he be as small when he grows up, or they say he will be? I have Neptune on my natal, and bit freaked out. By the way, I live in Data Point. Okay. So, and this was way before this session. Okay. Will I be successful? First question: will I be successful in getting a large investment paid back by hiring an attorney? Or still paying me? You have to. I think here's the thing. They're saying you got to get an attorney to get him to start paying dividends again. So almost like it's lighting a fire in his ass by getting an attorney or sending a letter. So I feel like, yes, the attorney, but to get him to push into paying those dividends again. So kind of both, right? So yes, I would get an attorney to send a letter or get a letter from an attorney just to advise that there's, look, do this or else. And then that might light the fire. You're saying he needs to light a fire under his ass. Okay. And yeah, I think the dog will be a good fit for you. I don't know if it'll stay as small as they say. It might be slightly larger, than what they say, but pretty much around that size, but maybe just slightly bigger. But I think what they're saying is kind of in the ballpark of how, the dog will be as far as size. But yeah, I feel like this dog is very adaptable, or will be very adaptable in a sense. So it'll find it's kind of nestling up into you very easily. And I think that once it kind of finds it's nestling up to you, then it kind of will adapt a lot easy. So yeah, it doesn't feel like a very problematic dog in a sense, like I said, very well adaptable. I feel like this dog is. But yeah. So get that attorney to light the fire under that gentleman's, behind. Okay, Beth Lashir, Beth L, I will say, and everyone remembers Beth's wonderful questions. We love Beth's questions. Beth, you make our night. We love you. And so please don't take it as a bad thing. We love it. It's awesome. We just love, and we love the transparency, Beth. Okay. So Beth's question is about the man I've asked about before. We've been arguing a lot about whether or not he still has feelings for a woman he calls his ex. He says no, and that he's been loyal and faithful to me since January 25th. That's a very specific date. I've been loyal to you since January 25th, I tell you. And that he stopped doing all the sex with others. Is this true? If not, has he been with her or anyone I know or in my circle since January 25th? Yes, and yes. So, here's what I've with this individual. There's like a couple screws loose in this individual's head. There's like something that's just not working and connecting in his brain. So I feel like he has stopped with the ex. And I feel like the ex has maybe said, look, no more. And so I feel like the ex has shut him down before that time, and I feel like he's made attempts to not engage so much, but he still has. So in his mind, it's like, well, I've made some changes, so no, I haven't done anything, right? So, someone doesn't just stop cold turkey like that. So no, it smells fishy to me, and not even in a good. It smells fishy both figuratively and literally, because he's not cleaning himself. Wait, did that come up last time, Beth? You have to remind me. Didn't you ask something too about him shaving something? And that was the funny of the question. I was just saying he doesn't clean himself well or something. But no, this person is is not telling the complete truth. Like this person will say the truth, but then like will lie at the same time. So he's somewhat truthful about it, but not completely. You know, I feel like the ex itself, she has maybe put a stop to it, you know, or said that it has to stop, you know. But yeah, I just don't get genuine vibes from this person. You know, I think that he might have had a dry spell for about a week, you know, so, but yeah, no, Beth. It's not the greatest. Even, and I'll say this, even if he's telling the truth, this is just a weird person. You know, this is a weird interaction. The interaction alone with this person would maybe go run to the hills. Okay, and this is another one that was right before the start of the session. Hi, Scott. This is Julia B. Hi, Scott. I hope you're well. My first question is, what is going on with my cat Luis's health? She's sneezing a lot, respiratory. My second question is, are my cats happy with what can I do to improve their quality of life? Cat's Luis's health, is she sneezing a lot? Let me just see if it's not the obvious. You know, it feels environmental. Like there's a sensitivity to like a fragrance with this cat. A fragrance. I don't know. They're showing something in a carpet, if there or an area rug or something that's in the floors or something. It feels allergic to environmental conditions, right? Allergies in that sense. That's what feels like more allergies. I don't know if I can say that respiratory, but it is more allergic and also sensitive to certain fragrances in the home or around the home. You know, it makes sense too because it's like March, April. Pollen, all that stuff, you know. So yeah, it doesn't feel like a deeper issue, but yeah, the cats. I don't know if I can ever say cats are happy. I mean, but I feel like your cats are fine. Like I don't think they need much from you. I think you might be actually thinking too much about whether you need so much from them. I think your question is more about you really need to nurture. You're feeling there's something that you need to nurture, and I think that you should start nurturing your relationships, your family members. Start nurturing humans now too, because I feel like your true need is not so much about how you're attending to your cats, but more so about wanting to nurture people, right? And to express nurturing. So I would kind of understand that's what you're lacking right now. You're not doing anything wrong of how you're caretaking your animals, but you might want to say, I need to nurture something. I want to be in a nurturing energy right now. So look into that aspect. But you're doing everything fine. The cats appear to be like completely happy, not needing anything from you, you know? So seemed pretty good to me, you know. But just look at the environmental. The one that's sneezing a lot, it feels environmental, fragrances, feels like it's like an allergic reaction. Not so much anything respiratory or anything deeper on that. Okay. Angie Russell. Card pull. My birthday is Sunday. Well, happy birthday, Mrs. Sunday, on Sunday. I think my birthday was on a Sunday this year. My birthday falls on a Sunday a lot, actually. And usually that's birthday on Sunday is like Super Bowl Sunday, but thankfully it wasn't this year. Let's see what the cards say for your birthday. And guys, remember, card pulls are very simple. They're very generic and basic, and not intended to be really depthful read. Just kind of like a little advisory of things, and you know, I have to keep the cards pull simple. And of course, specific questions go deeper. This is live here. It's not like a format of a real one-on-one session. Huh. Page of Cups for you. That's usually like a new message from somebody or messenger. So, and that's also a romantic date, you know, partner. You know, so let me see if that is actually love related. I think someone in the love arena will proposition you with something. Either a trip is coming, maybe someone surprise you for a trip or your birthday, or if you are with somebody, that lover brings in that a trip for you or some surprise event. But there's a message from a love interest or love energy or something of that nature. So maybe it's for your birthday. You know, or maybe something in the love arena comes in and a message and a new proposition of some degree occurs. And I feel travel. You know, or a trip or traveling. I feel that happening. So the message is really saying enjoy it. Take the proposition. Go for the proposition. If it's someone that you already are interested in, and they, you know, here's a world card, it's my traveling card too when it comes to vacay. Take the proposition. Go for it. Right? Whether it be if someone plans a trip for you, or if you are single, there's a new love interest, then then whatever the case is. I'm not going that depth in my read to say is she with somebody, but I'm just kind of going with the cards. But they're just saying enjoy it. I like that because I like I like the mysteriousness about the Page of Cups coming for you. Like I don't know if it's a love thing. I don't know if it's just, so there must be some mystery behind it for a reason. So there's something coming, a proposition. So I would just leave it there. Okay. Let's go with Allie here. Allie, I know I'm on the right path. Difficult to spend the money when I can't see the end result, and there's no guarantees in life. So first question would be, am I with the right attorney's office? Second question is, would be, how soon, approximate time, can I see the return of my money spent? Yeah, I feel like you're with the right attorney, and I think I predicted to you before that you'll find the right one. These feel like you're with the right, legal counsel, so that's good. Check, right? As far as approximate time to see money return spent, that can go like, there's so many physical parameters that that's not fate. The timing isn't fate on that. That's kind of like depending on how things render in this case. But I can say between now and 18 months, it's kind of the parameters I'm getting, between now and 18 months. So it could happen between that time. Or within that time is where I feel at that. All right, Allie? But yeah, I feel like you have the right legal counsel. You nestled in with the right people, so that's good. I feel like they're very chill or cool or calm and collected about things, and so, but they feel efficient, the right thing. So, yeah, but now that you have the firm, things will speed up because now you have the firm, so don't worry about that. You were very picky in finding the right people, so now you have it. It could take another 18 months, though. From now, you guys they already started. Iggy, what are you talking about? No cucumbers in heaven. Iggy loves that quote, man. I should tell Christopher to create a T-shirt like that. I've been kind of dry on my zingers lately. I need to get my zingers back in gear. Guys, don't listen to Witeki on that one. There's anything that you want in heaven, okay? Because, men, the physical body, the penis is all a physical representation of spiritual energy anyway. So we can experience what we would like to experience in heaven anyway, right? So whatever you're attracted to, that energy exists in heaven and the afterlife too. So I wouldn't get so hung up over that. I'm surprised how many eggplant lovers, and eggplant is the wrong emoji. It should be a cucumber or a freaking banana. What the hell is wrong with these people? Scott, stop talking about my firm behind. I was talking about a law firm, not your firm behind. Oh, this is why you guys are part of the Cruisyverse. I mean, this is how we are. We're all just very unique this way. They're big. Yes, they're bigger and better. And again, instead of vaginas, there are big vortexes in heaven too. So instead of the female womb, there's big black holes too in the universe. So whatever is in the physical form, it expands greater in the spiritual form. This is going somewhere bad real fast. Let's get back to this read, shall we? All right, we got Stephanie. We got Kristen Villaro. I love you too. First question. Last year, I keep seeing shadows that startle me, like someone is there. Is it someone? The first year anniversary of my uncle's death is coming up soon, day before Patrick's Day. So, there's multiple things with that, Kristen. Okay, yeah, I'll look for that question. Thanks. There are multiple things. I feel like your abilities are expanding. So I feel like there's twofold to that. So now that you're tuning more into the self, and your abilities are kind of expanding, you're getting both kind of aspects. One of residual energy, so you're kind of seeing residual energy in your physical space. So whatever like holographic representation there is of an imprint, you can pick up on that. But at the same time, you're also being open to spirit consciousness too. So you're kind of having like a duality of what you're coming into, because I feel like your abilities are kind of enhancing a little bit, right? So I wouldn't worry so much about what is it, who is it. Sometimes there's interdimensional beings that travel between dimensions and also hover on planet Earth. We might call it aliens, but sometimes they're doing peekaboos, and we catch glimpses of those too. But soul consciousness is not in physical reality unless it's hovering a physical body. Spirit doesn't hover in physical reality. Imprints do, right? And so, but if we are channeled into a spirit soul consciousness, then we can create a manifestation or apparatus that reflects that too. It can appear, depending on how connected we are, we can create a holographic representation in the physical world. That happens too. But they're not hovering here, right? But I really think that you really tapped into, a residual energy, an imprint, because your abilities are heightening and you're becoming more aware of your surroundings, which is great. But at the same time, you're also tapping into spirit too, so. And that could also be the fact that you're also channeling spirit with your uncle at the same time. And so, but I don't feel like the person that you saw as any type of like actual spirit energy, being, that doesn't really happen like that, but, I think that that's also indication that, you could read physical energy in physical places. For example, you could read the eggplant size on people without seeing it, right? So, being that we're on that trend tonight, so clearly you're good at reading your physical spaces. So, I would kind of tap more into that, and what I call it to be a physical medium. Like I can tap into a location, see if someone died there or not died there, and what the history was. I can tap into a lot of that information, as I feel like it'd be great for you to kind of tap into the feeling and essence of your environment too. Okay. Yeah. I would try to channel your uncle too, actually. So, yeah, Rashida has that ability too. This is why she's been single for a while. Right, Rashida? If you don't mind me saying so. Ay, Pickle Prince. I can't with you people. You guys are crazy. Oh, Christina, you're I'm dying. Pickle Prince. Oh God. Is it really Pickle Prince, or is it just all pant? Sometimes the pant gathers up, so make sure it's not all pant either, right? I have to highlight the comments so people don't understand I'm just not talking to myself. That's why I have the chat up here too. Pickle Prince. I can't. Oh gosh, I understand why you guys are here. You guys have the same brain, the same mind as I do. I swear. Undetectable, right? Okay, okay, Kristen, we did you, but there's a second question. Let me see here. There it is. Okay, got it. Second question, I forgot. How is my health? Is there anything I should be worried about or to do something different with your health? Of course, you always want to get validated by a health professional. A little disclaimer there. I should put that on the bottom there. Of course, we can only do short period with this too. I would love to, like, I don't think it's needed anyways in a one-on-one session to go through a health read, because when I do health reads, I like to take time and go through deficiencies, but I don't feel like I have to with you on this. Little things, you feel a little dehydrated to me. I feel like you need to maybe have some more probiotics. I feel there might be a little bit of inflammation in the gut a little bit, and you need to just maybe hydrate yourself. That's really about it. I think you feel okay. I think that there's a little bit of fatigue going on with you right now too, so that might be because of being dehydrated, but I also feel because you've been aware of your surroundings intuitively, you're picking up on the collective energy, so that's been kind of tiring and cumbersome for you energetically, right? So no, the health is fine. To me, it's more about anxiety. Making sure you're navigating and understanding what's creating the anxiety and how to resolve what's creating the anxiety, and just managing your abilities effectively and efficiently. That's because I feel like you're picking up on a lot of external energy around you, and you're just like harboring that talk to Nina. I tell this to Nina all the time. Nina's a massive empath. And when shit's going on with the collective or astrologically, she feels it. And it's always on point to what the astrological alignments are, or whatever's going on in the collective energy that I can read. Like, oh, of course you're picking up on that. This is, and the side effects you have right now is parallel to what's going on with the collective. So I think you're having a little bit of that too, Kristen. Yeah, it's fatigue. I feel sometimes mostly drained. Yeah, it's all because of the anxiety. Exporting. Make sure you're not exporting too much. Like I said in the beginning about being, more, expressive, but like not giving too much either, right? Making sure you're receiving, or at least giving yourself so yourself can receive. Make sure you're just being more balanced in that sense. That's more spiritual energy, less of the energy of, just something with the health. You need to be conscious of emotional balance because of your spiritual awareness and empathy. Okay. All right. We have Sophia R. card pool here. We're all amazing, right? I think we're all a tribe here. So if I'm amazing, you're all amazing. Because I think you're all amazing too. You all make me laugh as well, and you all are like extensions of family, because we all have the same minds here. And Iggy is my Aqua ringleader in the chat. It's funny. I saw someone used my Febreze. I don't know if it was an LOL. Someone says they want to get out of their Febreze scented office, and it reminded me of my Febreze watered down fart phrase about clearing energy. All right, for Sophia R. Sophia, I don't know if this is like parallel to last week's poll. It's interesting. Let me pull some oracles on this too. Here, I'm like half of my deck is gone or something. Yeah, nobody wants a Febreze watered down fart in their environment. Just clear that shit out. Yeah. Yeah, so again, this keeps coming up, Sophia, about somebody like, trying to like win at all costs, trying to like scheme you or not being dishonest to you, being kind of betrayal, conniving energy, right? But I feel like the last week, I don't know why I remember, because I know you always do card pulls, but I feel like the Three of Swords came out last time. I have to check on the replay or not, but it came up in maybe in the upright, but it's here's coming in the reversal, which means I feel like you're getting over betrayal of the past, or at least it's coming to light, and understand that you got to trust yourself more. You got to be more trusting of your own decisions, what you need, the decisions that you have to make, and trust those decisions that you need to make that come from the heart, the soul, right? Because at the end of the day, the acceptance card here, I think it really is saying that you've been trying to, seek acceptance through these relationships that have not been, working well for you. And again, it could be family, it could be friendship, but whatever the case, it doesn't always mean romantic relationships. And they're saying that, you don't need to seek acceptance from people. You don't need to get their acceptance. We got to trust ourselves, accept ourselves, and people along the way will match that vibe. So, whether or not they're saying there was someone causing heartache or before, this is saying like you're getting over the heartache, or it's being revealed to you of their true nature, and so I feel a resurrection of that as my cards fall on the floor here. Un momento. Okay. So that makes me feel like there's a lightness now to the situation. So that's a good thing too with that. Oh my God, I was like, my landlord asked a question and he asked a question for only $500. Okay, no, that was I sent him that. Okay, next we have Ron Groom. Ron Groom says, had I falling out with a friend a few months ago, he blocked me from his social media and phone. I want to try to reconnect, but not sure he'd be open to it. Thoughts? that's deceitful energy to me, Ron, with that person too. I don't know if I said this last time with you. We had a session, right, Ron? Yeah, we did. Because I remember Ron Groom. We just had a session. And we clarified about deceitful energy or not honest energy. Like, that also represents that energy to me, too. I mean, he'll be kind of open to it, but like sluggish start. But I feel like this person is not, I don't want to say trustworthy, but it's one of those things, energies that I feel like is going to weigh you down again. You know? So I want to ask the question to you, do you want to be open to it? Because whether or not you or maybe feel like you're responsible for something, I think that there's more on the end of their position to where, you know, they're not really meeting and showing up the way they show up for you. And I think a lot of those misunderstandings come from, you know, their lack of honesty or direct approach to things, you know? So I personally would let it breathe a little longer. And it's not really about whether or not he's open to it or not. I think it's more about, are you truly wanting that? And, you know, I would advise to keep a little bit of this distance, or keep a little bit of this, you know, gap here right now. You know? Focus on home life. Focus on home life, you know? Yeah, I just, again, whether or not, like, it'll just take him time to respond, but I just don't think he's in the state of wanting to, you know, show up for you the way you need to show up. What it means, if you apologize or not, I just don't feel like he's going to want to show up. That's just, I don't think you want to need this in your life. That's what I feel like on this one. You know, like, if you did something wrong, I'd say to yourself, well, you know, like, you know, yeah, make amends, like, be patient, like, but I don't feel that here. I feel like you don't want this person. This dynamic needs to be where it's at right now. The moon card is confirming to me that, you know, he's not being forthright, you know, about himself or what he's feeling and so forth in that nature. So, not completely honest. So the moon card is confirming that to me. So, you know. No. I saw a transaction where I sent my rent. I'm always on time my rent, honey. No. Soon when I move, get out of Southern California, that's where I'm going to finally buy. I'm like, well, I don't know where I want to buy. I don't know where to buy. I don't know where I want to live. So that's why I've never really bought, you know, because I'm like, I don't know where I want to settle down on. So, and I know I never wanted to really settle in Southern California. So I'm leaving Southern California this year. So I can't believe I'm saying it's happening so fast. And then I'll purchase, well, there's no state income tax. How about that? Right? Nevada. Yeah, but Ron, remember that you have to start selecting people who need to be present for you, Ron, okay? Who need to be present for you. Chelsea M. I took an exam this morning. Did I pass or will I need to retake it? I will find out next week. Chelsea, you know I don't like these questions about passing. And I don't like to be the bearer of bad news or, you know, that nature either. I wish you just let yourself figure that out. But let me see if there's a grade on it yet. This is what I don't like to use my abilities for, but because I know you and know what you've been through, I'm compromising a bit. But I don't like using my abilities for these types of things. Let me see if I can actually get an answer on that. Being I have, you know, resistance. Yeah, I mean, there's so much congestion wrapped around this. Interesting, I got the Two of Wands on that. Two of Wands is about moving ahead, moving forward. So appears like you just made it. Like you just made it energy. Because 2 1s is moving forward, looking beyond, from where you're at. So it kind of feels like you just made it, right? Yeah. But I don't get much on it either, on that one. And I'm usually really good with my predictions, but stuff like this is just I don't like the pressure it puts on me. That's what I hate about these things, because it's like whether or not I'm going to be disappointing somebody or not, it's that pressure I don't like on questions like this. Because I don't want to tell someone, oh, you failed your test, got to take, I don't like that pressure to put on there. But my read is, I just feel like you just made it, or just the 2. That's why I relied on a card to say the card is saying to you that 2 wands about embarking on a new journey, moving ahead, moving forward. So we'll let the card use that answer, because I don't like the pressure on that. The bearer bad news. Just like I don't like death predictions, But yeah, it feels like you just barely made it or something, or just passed it, like in the nick of a grade. That's what it's saying to me, and it's the cards are saying about moving forward. So, but I feel like Spirit just doesn't want. Spirit wants you to like go through your life, just experiencing life like that. Like there's so much more behind that. That it's not a cop out, but it's just saying like, just live your life and like go through the process. Go through the process of waiting to find out. Go through the process of getting that confirmation for yourself, of not having to know ahead of time on everything. Like it's like when I get questions like that, it's like a pressure on me to alleviate your anxiety, right? And I'm just talking in general. And that's what makes me uncomfortable with those types of things. Now I got to deliver, instead of just being free flowing. But, I just want you to make sure that you understand where you stand with yourself and what you're experiencing. Just like let the week be the week. But that's the read I get on it. Do I feel 100% on it? I don't feel 100% on it, to be honest with you. So, but you and I have talked about this many times, Chelsea. You understand where I come from with that. Sherry card pool. It's like when I get questions, is my mom going to die? Like these serious, heavy questions. But, the thing is, if I saw a grade on it already, because I don't feel like it's been graded yet. If I saw a grade on it, then I could read it so much better, man. But I don't feel like it's been graded yet. There's not a grade on it. If there was, I'm like, then I can see the grade. But I just don't see, it hasn't been graded yet. So I'm trying to use my abilities to peek around and see, like, if it matches to passing. And to me, it feels like it just kind of does. Or just barely does. You know what I mean? All right, for Sherry Cordier. This is interesting how this is coming out here. This is more about you tapping into your own abilities, intuitive and psychic abilities, High Priestess card. But this is also the 5 of Cups. It's all about loss. It's a loss energy. So maybe it's saying that let me psychically tap into that. I think that you might be feeling like your abilities aren't strong enough, or you used to have abilities, you don't have abilities anymore. You feel like that's illusion, but you need to like re-tap into those abilities and kind of get more into the fact of being intuitive again and being empathetic again and dive deep into embracing those spiritual gifts and abilities that you probably had before, or the experience you've had in your past, and bringing that back to light now in the present time. And I feel like that's a huge portion of this for you, is to recognize you've had a lot of experiences, things that you've maybe experienced throughout your lifetime, or things that were just odd to you. Like, really look at those things and understand that you do have intuitive aspects that you can still embrace now and today. So tap into that intuition and that's, mystical awareness, as you would say. Because I feel like you believe it's there, it's there, but kind of like, well, what do I do with it? It's like, well, dive deep into it, practice it, study more about it, And the Ten of Pentacles is just random, just kind of like saying that there's, going to be some financial increases this year. I feel like it could be an inheritance or some sort of money's passed down or a return on investments. It feels like to me this year too. So financially, it feels like the financial side of things will be well this year. But get the spiritual stuff well. Like really dive into your intuitive abilities and own them more. Okay, simple card pull. Where am I here? Okay. James Porterfield. So I lost a crystal last week. That was very sentimental. Devastated, I was analyzing the lesson reaction. Lost letting go is challenging for me. My teacher said you need to stop analyzing and allow. What is allowing? As I thought understanding is part of allowing, I did find it. There's a lot to break down on this one. Okay. I don't know. In this case, it's not so much about losing, even though that's part of the experience. It's more so about your quick to judge a circumstance, quick to react to a circumstance, quick to go deep into a panic mode, so to speak, or impulsive mode circumstance. So allowing is so general, right? That means, do I just allow someone to come in and hit me? Do I just allow myself to feel like shit? No. So this whole allowing stuff is kind of could be very bullshit and just cliche and new age bullshit. But if we were to talk about allowing, it's really saying to yourself, you're not resisting what life is teaching you. You're not resisting what life is telling you. So allowing says, okay, I'm allowing myself to embrace a circumstance and to say, what is the token, the message behind the circumstance? That's what it's telling you, right? So that's really what allowing is. And allowing is also when you're, developed into self-worth. Somebody say, I have to allow good things to come to me. I have to allow money to come into me. I'll have to allow money to come into me. Guys, let's get with it here. When you work, do you not expect to get a paycheck? Sure you do. So you don't have to practice allowing money to come in, and that's why it's not manifesting. No. When you're focusing on putting yourself into understanding value, self-worth, and the important purpose of things, well, then just money will come into you. You won't hesitate and reject it or resist it and be overly humble. I mean, I've seen people overly humble just get shitloads of money come to them. So this whole allowing stuff is hogwash. It's so cliche. It's just the buzzword of the fucking century when it comes to spirituality, or buzzword of the decade. And it's just a whole bunch of generic bullshit. For me, what you want to make sure you're doing is that you're not reacting so quickly to things. The loss and letting go, great. And I think it's one, saying to yourself that, yeah, maybe you should stop putting so much emphasis on an object and understand that it's the energy you've created the object to be is the whole point, right? But in this case, also don't jump to conclusions. Look at the reliance that you were so devastated you lost this, but then it came up again. It's like, well, did I need it to react that way? There's something wrong with my reaction to that. And my jumping to a devastating, perspective. That's the lesson there. It's not about allowing. It's about learning, understanding. So yeah, I think that you said, I thought understanding is part of allowing. No, understanding is understanding. Allowing is a different aspect of saying you get to decide. Allowing is a choice. I'm going to choose to allow this in. I'm going to choose not to allow this in. By saying that you're not allowing is just so stupid. It's saying you're not. I would say you're not diving deep within the lesson or the message within the circumstance, and you're not allowing yourself to then, dive deep into what's important in the true self-worth, right? You're not allowing that. So allowing has to be specifically, descriptive, not just saying you're not allowing, generally speaking. What are you not allowing? What do you need to allow? We need to be specific on these things, right? So I get so annoyed when people spiritual teachers are like, oh, honey, you're just not allowing. What the fuck does that mean? Not allowing what? I'm supposed to allow everything? Let's be specific. Let's refine this. We got to tell them. So that's what I want you to understand. Stop being so reactive, one, about how things may go not in your favor, and that you should be solidified. Okay, well, I've lost it. I'll put energy into something else. I'll put my memory into something else. Nothing can take my memory away. That should be your approach. And to me, that's also a representation that you're more connected to your physical conditions to solidify your own spiritual and metaphysical experiences and expressions. We're saying, fuck the physical conditions. Start with enhancing and embracing the spiritual, expressions first. And if you want to have a physical expression in it to do it, great. But it shouldn't be so intertwined that that's what keeps a reminder, or that what keeps a solidification of your mystical and spiritual and emotional experiences. Change that. And stop with this cliche and stop listening to this cliche shit of like, you're just not allowing. Well, what the fuck am I not allowing? Like, there needs to be more specifics on that. And that's, hopefully I'm clear about what that really is for you. So clearly it's really not about the objects, about your impulsive reactions to such, and putting the conditions first versus, the emotion, the sentimental, that's what really is existing within you. We'll always take the sentiments with us when we pass on. We won't take the physical shit, the objects. Fuck it. So you want to be able to sustain without the objects. Don't be fickle, allow the pickle. The mystical pickle. I gotta email, send a message to Chris Reck and get him in the mystical pickle on here. Keep forgetting. Life has been But yes, Iggy, that's right. You're not allowing the pickle. So don't be fickle. Allow the pickle. But hopefully that makes more sense to you, James. But, we all got to stop with this, we all got to stop with these cliches, these general cliches that just don't really mean anything. They don't do anything. They don't provide any sort of substance other than like, oh, I'm just not doing that. I'm not doing that. Yeah. Okay, Jai says, "Hi Scott, question about my day job. Lots has changed in my department. Just want to know if you see changes for me or stability. Also, finance investments, lots of volatility right now. I wanted to get the read on energy path moving forward." Again, same thing's the same thing here, Jai. Yeah, there's changes in your department, but I think that you're not affected negatively by those changes. You know what I mean? You're not affected negatively by those changes. So that feels fine about your department. You feel like an asset. As far as your investments, I feel repetitive on this, but that's okay. If you need to check in, you need to check in. I feel like 2025 is a really good year of security and stability. All because things change doesn't mean that's not secure and stable, right? You got to look at the undertone of like, yeah, things are changing, but it's securing my future. It's stable, right? So yeah, no, I mean, the read on that just, it feels like moving forward. Because you say, what's the read on the energy path moving forward? I'm like, it's moving forward. Like I said, things will alter, things will rearrange and change, but if you look at the bigger picture, things are always evolving, right? So, and a lot of these questions are just anxiety. Like, will I pass my test? Anxiety. That's an anxiety question. Here, like his anxiety question, I get it, right? But it's just anxiety. There's no actual fundamental truth behind the anxiety. So no, Jai, I feel like there's still security within your job this year, and there's a lot of great security and investments this year too. So, and remember, we're always on, look at the long-term ROI, right? And so when you understand, you see a long-term ROI in things, that's the whole point too. So it's not just about getting that immediate, rewards in a sense. So I feel like a lot of what you're doing is securing things within your work, within your job, within your investments and future investments. I think you're doing a lot of that securing this year. I've always felt that stability and security this year within your work and investments. So that's going to continue. So don't focus so much on so much of the physical variables, but focus more on, again, where things are actually directing you. Because then you realize I'm on the same path. I'm on the great path. I'm still going to be on the good path. So very simple to me on that. So. Yeah, I don't know if that's spot on. It's more mentorship, though, I gave you, Jai. Right? I mean, yeah, I've always said you'll be, the security I've said for a while, but this is just more mentorship. This is more just guidance, in a sense. But I appreciate that. As long as it makes sense to you so you can see things better, that's the whole point of trying to at least mentor you into how to perceive what's going on. Because I can psychically see you're in the fucking perfect, you're on the right path for career. You're on the right path of building a family and having success and financial stability. You're already on that path is already there. So I am confirmed and secure that you're on that path. So again, little variables will happen here and there, and that's okay if you see some validation during that timing, but you're on that path of success and financial stability. So that's the path that you were on. So it's all good, so Sophia has a question. We had high winds, and I think that's what my dog's nose has been dry and crackling. She licks off the ointments and coconut oil I've put on her. Is there anything else you think I could do to help her? Thank you, love. Sophia, let me see. No, keep doing what you're doing. Nothing with the dog feels additional. It's like the cat question I had before. It feels just allergetic. I would do as much as you can to keep the pets inside right now. Both the cat and the dog question here. Make sure they're spending a little more time in the home and less outside right now. I would do that until it wears off, but it feels nothing more than just allergetic stuff, and so keep with the ointments and the coconut oil, great for the infection and so forth. So, but yeah, it feels very expected, the nose crackling and the dry, just because of the dry, how the weather is, cold weather and the winds, that dries out the stuff. So it's very, very much, I would say, to be expected, right? But, I know the read is like, is there anything additional? It's like, no, just keep doing what you're doing. It's consistency. I would say in this case, consistency would be key, I appreciate all the questions. And then we have Kate Core as a card pull. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people too are, Pickle Hood, great name for a podcast. Yeah, right? So I'm the Pickle Hood. I saw a meme. It said, like, it had a pickle and said, "Deal with it." I don't know. I always saw it this morning. I just started laughing. Somebody, just like a pickle, said, "Deal with it." So stupid. And I saw another meme where some woman, like, from the 50s laying down, she goes, "I don't know why people get mad at me for being lazy. I didn't do anything." Those are two stupid memes I saw this morning that I thought were funny. Okay. Holy shit. Look at these cards here. Look at the duality here. Okay. I feel like you're coming out of this energy. Three of Swords, heartbreak, heaviness, and not, I wouldn't say just heartbreak, but just heavy in the heart, maybe, I think in your case. Just carrying too much, sluggish energy, right? Because this could be burdensome, carrying too much, but I also feel like this is more saying you're coming from a space, an environment that felt like heavy, uninspired, things are a little sluggish. Now, Ten of Cups, happiness, and even look at the Ace of Cups. I mean, these are great cards, and this is very much a fertility, birth of something new, a new creation. You're not pregnant, don't worry, Kate. And yeah, I don't think you foresee that happening. But the Ten of Cups is also about, enjoyment, happiness, and also like new family. New family. So I know you moved recently, so that maybe you're creating a new family where you're home, right? So it's also saying that's going to bring more inspiration to you and more completion, more enjoyment, and going to allow things to move forward. And of the Ace of Cups, again, you probably will even have a creative explosion. Because I know the two people that you're around now, that's kind of your new family, that they're very creative people too. And that might even, the three of you guys together can definitely, build that whole creative explosion. Because there's a fountain on that. So I think Nina and Lafayette would also relate, and also in conjunction to this too. So great read on that. I love that. So Yeah, I feel like there's more pep in your step for this change, but like that energy is like what allow you to get more downloads too. Because one thing we have to remember, when we're in the right circumstances, around the right people, the right places, we get energetic and spiritual downloads, which will give us inspiration to create and do other things, create projects. So we got to be around the right surroundings. It's very important, you know. Nina Yet. Yeah, and so Team Nina Yet. How can we add Kate in there? La Fanina. La Fanina. Oh, yeah, I love that. That's awesome, Kate. So it's a good journey for you. Yeah, La Fanina, Nina Yet. I like Nina Yet. Can we add Kate to that? To Nina Lafayette Kate? Nikayat. Go do Nikayat is Nina, Kate, and Lafayette. Nikayat. Yeah. So yeah, additionally to that, Kate, creative explosion. You'll have more creative expressions, more creative inspiration. You know, Lafayette. No, I like Nikayat, like Nikayat, right? Team Nikayat. I can't believe I'm sitting here trying to ponder this too. I'm really like spending time trying to ponder throwing these names together. How much time did I spend on that? Jesus, who's watching this show? Who's watching this show here? All right, last but certainly not least is Sarah. I'm not good at forming questions, but you know me well enough. Maybe you can give me a little bit update for what I need most this week and what I need to focus on or be aware of. Yeah, sure. Yeah, people are saying, "Hey guys, I was watching that Scott Cruz Psychic Medium channel and I was seeing him. Well, I just decided to watch this channel. He was just trying to combine a name for 10 minutes about Lenina Cake something on another. Yeah, he's weird. It's a weird show. That's what the talk is around town now. And something about a pickle and deal with it." And something about a radar pickle and pickle prints. The pickle prints, that got me. I couldn't with that. Jesus. Sarah, I'm sorry about that. Maybe this is why it's coming up, Sarah. Maybe I think you need more laughter right now. You need to entertain yourself with some humor, Sarah. When we are, evolving through something, through a challenge, we don't always have to be so intensively focusing on changing and putting ourselves through so much work. We have to be focusing on enjoyment too. So, what they're saying you need to understand now is like, where's your enjoyment now? It's not all about the learning curve of everything. Like, I'm not gonna get specific about what it is. You know what it is. It's not all about that learning curve either. Sometimes expressing and laughing again and diving deep in humor and comedy or something pleasurable is part of the learning process too. So they're saying you need to exhale right now, Sarah. That's what you need for this week. Let me exhale. Let me say, okay, I've accomplished a lot. Let me just take a break from all this processing a little bit. Let me just enjoy things a little bit. And that enjoyment might actually get you to be in a position that you're like, I am kind of done with it. I just been overly processing it. I am actually done with it. I'm enjoying things now and I'm good. That's what they're saying. So, and you know what they say, when I say about the greatest path to enlightenment is to lighten up on yourself, right? So the greatest path to enlightenment is lightening up on yourself. Enlightenment isn't about you're putting yourself through the ringer all the time. It means that you're learning, you're saying, okay, I'm learning things, but let me just fucking enjoy things too. I have a pie chart here, and I have pieces of the pie that go to different dynamics, and it's not all designated to one thing. And remember that too. Create a pie graph and say how much that pie is designated to this learning curve, and where does everything else fit into that pie graph? So yeah, lining up and focusing on exhaling this week. And understanding it's not all about it. Good. Yeah, well, we did a lot of clearing last week too, Sarah. We did a lot of clearing last week. I mean, you had that kind of circling event, and then we completed it after the session, and you were just like so clear even after our last session, actually. So, I felt like everything came full circle from the first session we had, and I saw you connect the dots of it all, so that's probably why you felt this, clear up even previous. And now it's like, now enjoy. Start enjoying things again. Putting enjoyment into things that you're even doing now too. You know, so, you know, it's no big deal. Remember that. I don't know. In that case, I like there to be a big deal. I don't want if they say it's no big deal, I'm like, I'm out. See ya. Peace out. We need some pickle prints. Here. Let me just check my PayPal, make sure that we are done here as we are. So readings are closed. I've got to remember to close them down. So Nina, if you can announce that the readings are now closed, and we're going to get into, we have a brand new sound bath from Lafayette too today. So, good. See that? Well, there you go, Sarah. Perfect. Then it's confirmation. It's got you shot Skeet. That's my dad used to call me Skeet when I was younger. So you shot me. I shot Skeet for the first time this week, doing new things. Good. See, there you go. So you're in alignment to what you should be doing now in enjoyment. Perfect. Let that be the focus. Okay. Well, that concludes the readings, and I am good. I'm good. So we have a brand new, without further ado, we have a brand new sound bath from Lafayette. And so let's take 5-6 minutes and enjoy it, and I'll be right back. Settle down, get comfortable, guys. And Sarah, you too, take advantage of the sound bath right now. Enjoy it. Wow, that was great, right? Isn't that beautiful? And, you know, it's modes like that. You just say, it's no big deal. I'm going to enjoy the sound bath. I'm going to enjoy the peace, the chillness, right? And it is, seriously, I mean, we're making fun, but like, that should be our attitude. This is no big deal. Why are you making, and someone says you make so much big deals that it's the most stupidest things that don't even mean anything. And we worry about things that really are not that big of a deal. And now I don't even know if I'm going to say deal or dill in the future. I think I'm doing a hybrid now, so. Anyways, that concludes tonight's show. I appreciate every single one of you guys for stopping on by. If you didn't check out this morning's Leading Out Loud, check it out. LOL. We talked about the Divine Feminine and Resurrecting Divine Feminine. And catch me y'all catch me again, same time, next place, same time. I'm trying to think of topics to come up with. So if you guys have any like suggestions on topics and stuff, let me know. Things that you want to hear me talk about, or things you want, you know, get my perspective on. Send some just suggestions, or leave a comment in the comment section, not in the live chat, but in the comment section. Leave it there. Drop a like. Share, subscribe. I have to say all these things now. I forget I'm a YouTuber now. I got to say these things. We want to like pass it around. We're going to see a lot of engagements in here. Let's bring more crazy, wacky people in here so we can make more of a wackier time every Thursday night. And so let's get with it. All right. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. Again, if you want to book a private session one-on-one, me, scottcruzpm.com. Life readings, mediumship sessions, intuition builder. Again, there's so many things I can do in life readings as well, depending on what you're needing and what you're wanting and what's appropriate for the time that you need. I find a lot of people lately just need like comfort and validation. A lot of times I'm like, am I doing my expertise? And people just need comfort and validation. But I feel like that's a gift in itself to understand how to provide that. So I've been finding a lot of people just needing a lot of comfort and reassurance lately. And so, which is understandable because we're going through a lot of changes within our collective. And so, but I think people understand, being a psychic, I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm not going to say things just to make you feel good. I'm going to say what's true. And so, but also I'm here to mentor, you guys have had to really move forward in your lives, because I've been through massive amounts of trauma that I've overcome. And I've spent my whole life studying what I teach and preach. Like I say I wrote in the LOL song, I don't just talk this shit. I'm living this shit, right? I don't just talk the shit, repeat the shit, I'm living it. So, and that's true. And everything I talk about, I've experienced. And so, which is important to me, because I mean, that's what truly being authentic really means. I don't parrot shit. I don't parrot information. Everything I speak about is because I've experienced it and I resolved it and found wisdom through it. I think those just parrot information is what creates a lot of confusion in people, because a lot of people just parrot the same old bullshit. People are like, well, I'm not allowed, like we talked about with James, I'm not allowing. It's like, but there needs to be more guidance on what that really means in your life and your experience. Just repeating a cliche sentiment, it's not helping. So I see a lot of people that are just, people just parroting wisdom or cliche information that's not actually bringing change. And so with me, you don't get that. So with me, you get the real deal. And so, yes, it's time for you guys to really start living this stuff. I'm just reading the comments. You guys are funny. But I appreciate every single one of you guys. And I'm sure I'll see a lot of you guys next week, and bring your friends aboard. Tell people about this, about the Thursday Night Lives, bring them on board, if they want to get a question in, or if they just want to hang out and chill out and what is it? Sorry, I'm looking at the comments. They just want to hang out, and they just want to kind of just, connect with a great community of people. I mean, I've seen a lot of people connecting within the community here too. Like, bring them on in. And the more comments you guys leave too, because I know you guys watch it, and a lot of my viewers are just like me. I don't comment and like things when I'm on social media. I just don't do that. And I know a lot of my viewers are like me like that too. But it helps when you guys do that for the algorithm purposes and all that crap. And we have to hear it all the time. It gets it pushed more. So I appreciate you guys that help out. Iggy's great at doing that too. I appreciate you, Iggy, for like doing that and time stamping like that. That helps a lot, even with the algorithm, too. So I appreciate you guys that are helping that to build that, because YouTube is a long journey of building. I didn't want to do YouTube. Spirit pushed me into it. I'm here. I'm glad I'm here. But it takes time to build momentum, and so, but you guys are definitely helping on that too. And it helps me to think about more outside of the box things I can do moving forward, and more changes. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. And as I always say to you guys are all the gods and goddesses of your own myth. What do you want to create? What's love? I love every single one of you guys, and good night.
Scott Cruz is popularly known for his life-changing one-on-one readings to also guide in your soul ascension journey. With life readings, get insight into your relationships, career, health, trauma healings, past life regressions, and more. Want to connect with a loved one who's transitioned? Scott's mediumship session can be the gateway to you and your loved ones in spirit bridging the gap between the physical and the spiritual realm. If you want to enhance your own psychic ability, Scott's Intuition Builder session can help expand your psychic and mediumship abilities. So sign on to scottcruzpm.com to book your own personal session today.